Hello, Professor. We are Group 1. Today, we are going to talk about the case of Geely acquiring Volvo car. Our presentation including 4 parts, which is background information, interests, analyze, outcome, and future development, and suggestions. Now, let's move to the background information. On March 28, 2010, Geely Group and Ford Motor Company signed a final agreement. Geely paid $1.8 billion for 100% ownership of Volvo cars, which includes the ownership of the Volvo car trademark and more than 10,000 intellectual property rights and patents to protection facilities with a capacity of 500,000 vehicles. An energy company, a component company, more than 3,800 international R&D international energies, and 2,325 service and sales branches. Okay, let's move to the next part.
Actually, Geely announced a plan to acquire Volvo as early as June 2007. Geely approached Ford several times about buying Volvo, but Ford declined. When the global financial crisis occurred in 2008, Ford reconsidered selling Volvo. Geely offered for its first round of bids in March 2009 with the assistance of Rothschild's bank. After a 4-month due diligence, Geely cut Ford's initial $6 billion offer to $3.5 billion. In September 2009, Geely reduced its offer to $1.8 billion after discovering that Volvo has spent $1.7 billion less on fixed assets and R&D over the next 3 years than it had before. Because of the significant change in the offer, the acquisition negotiation was put on hold for a month. During this time, 2 companies suddenly entered the bid and provide viable financial proposals. But Ford finally chose Geely's offer. Ford and Geely reached a final agreement in March 2010, and the assets delivery was finished in August. The acquisition was a global transaction at the time, being the largest overseas acquisition by a Chinese car maker. Okay, let's move to the next part.
Thank you. For the interest analysis, we identify 4 issues that will be discussed here. Firstly, the market expansion. According to a number of articles, the owner of Geely, Mr. Li, actually have a great interest to make Geely become a global big player. And at this moment, because of the economic downturn in the US, Ford actually would like to consolidate and maintain their business in North America and Europe. For Volvo, actually, they would like to expand the China market. On the second issue, the company image. It is a general perception that for the China automakers, the image is very low quality and also not attractive design. And the interest for Geely actually at this moment is would like to upscale their brand and also make a better image, especially on the quality. So Volvo is one of the good target for them. And apart from these 2 areas, we actually go to another 2 issues, the technology transfer and also financial issues. For technology transfer, Geely actually would like to make use of the acquisition to improve their scale, knowledge, and also resources in order to develop better combustion engine and also hybrid powertrains. And meanwhile, for Ford, it may not have much interest on it, but they just keep providing parts engineering and also IT support to Volvo. For financial issues, for Geely, actually, they would like to utilize the acquisition to make it become bigger and also can have explore new capital market option. It's just like listing in other countries. For Ford, because the economic downturn, and actually they have a great debt at this moment. So the main interest for them is to improve cash flows as well as to reduce debt. And now I pass to my partner.
Okay, let's move to the pattern analysis part. If Volvo was not sold to Geely, did Ford and Geely have another good options? And will these options make them satisfied? There are actually two potential buyers who also participate in this negotiation. One is Jacob AB from Sweden, and the other is Crown from the USA. In the aspect of the quotation, the price of the two groups are not lower than Geely. Even Jacob's offer is 0.3 billion higher than Geely's offer. In terms of the financing speed, Ford especially need the money of the acquisition due to its financial crisis. The two groups participated in this negotiation relatively late. Financing progress was also behind, while Geely started preparing for this acquisition for a long time. In the aspects of the competition, Ford, as the leading company in the auto industry, obviously doesn't want the Volvo's technology patents to be used by another leading car manufacturer in the USA or in the Europe to threaten the Ford. While if it is sold to the China, it will not pose a direct threat to Ford's position. Volvo chose Geely not only because the advantages of China's auto parts industry chain and the potential huge auto markets, but also because Geely promised to treat the Volvo brand well. That is not other two groups can offer, such as keep the research and development center in Sweden unchanged, promise to open new production lines in China in line with the highest standards, no layoffs, and preservation of units. Then let's analyze the Geely's partners. Geely also participated in the early negotiation with Saab. In Geely's value ranking, Volvo is much better than Saab, no matter in terms of industry influence or technical patents, although the price difference is also big. In summarize, we would say Volvo is Geely's #1 choice, but if the acquisition of Volvo fails, Geely will also try to acquire Saab eventually.
Okay, now we will move on the outcome and development. In this part, we will analyze the result of the acquisition and see who will get, what will they get from the case. For Geely, the market expansion, the revenue had jumped from 14 billion RMB in 2010 to 92 billion RMB in 2020. The net profit grew from RMB 1.3 billion in 2009 to 5.5 billion in 2020, becoming the third Chinese brand car company to achieve a production and sale volume of passenger cars exceeding 10 million units. In 2021, the two companies agreed on a wide-ranging collaboration to deliver synergy in powertrain, sharing of electronic vehicle architecture, joint procurement, autonomous drive technology, and after-sales to strengthen Geely company image. And beneficial from the acquisition of Volvo, Geely began its ambitious plan of market expansion. In 2013, Geely acquired London taxi company and invest £300 million into a new factory to build the new model of TX5. The project was led by Peter Hornbury, the former head of designer at Volvo North America. In 2017, Geely purchased the truck and bus maker Volvo AB from Shivian Capital to reunion the Volvo brand to compete with Tesla. Finally, for the financial issue, the year after the acquisition of Volvo, Geely Holding Group entered the Fortune 500 for the first time. It also becoming the only Chinese auto group on the list of top 10 auto group with the higher overall brand value. Now we move on for the case of Volvo.
Under the management of Geely, Volvo's marketing strategy is to consolidate and strengthen its position in the traditional markets of Europe and the US, and to develop markets in emerging countries. Subsequently, China has become an important engine of its performance growth. By 2021, Volvo Cars has operating revenues of SEK 282 billion. It nearly approaches the global sales target of 800,000 vehicles set 10 years ago. Volvo has maintained its world-class premium brand image of safety and reliability. In addition to the vehicle segment, it is also the world's leading truck manufacturer and the total transport solution provider. Cooperate with Geely to develop technology structures, CMA, realize the standardization of the quality system, complete the globalization of the industrial chain. Besides, SPA technology has been a huge success. Volvo car sales and profits increased sharply. Volvo plans to completely transform itself into an all-electric vehicle company by 2030. It is currently developing SPA2, a platform for purely electric models that will incorporate auto-driving capabilities. After Volvo's IPO in 2021, the total capital was approximately $18.4 billion from 2017 to 2020. Net profit and gross margin fell slightly for Ford after dumping many of the premium automotive groups, Aston Martin, Mazda, Volvo, Land Rover, and Jaguar, known as the Premier Automotive Group. Ford survived the 2008 financial crisis. Let's move to the next part.
Okay, now let's move to the reflection and the recommendation. So first, I will talk about an in-depth analysis of Geely's smooth progress. The first point is financial crisis creates historical opportunities. Ford had no intention of selling Volvo, but when the financial crisis hit, Volvo was losing $1.5 billion and had 3 consecutive years of heavy losses. Ford wanted to sell Volvo after it started to implement of the One Ford reform. However, other major car companies were also affected by the financial crisis and could not afford to bid for Volvo. This provided a good historical opportunity for Geely to successfully acquire Volvo. The second point is national development advantages. Geely's successful acquisition of Volvo is also due to the huge market demand in China. Under the impact of the financial crisis, the Chinese luxury car market is still growing at a rate of more than 40%. Therefore, for Volvo, Geely is a good choice. The third reason is clear overall strategy. Li Shufu has wanted to acquire Volvo for a long time. He started the initial idea of buying Volvo in 2007 and gradually went to realize it. Geely's acquisition of Volvo is also in line with its overall policy of energy saving and environmental protection. Next point is network resources. Geely has assembled a team with extensive experience. Geely has a team of 200 people in many different countries working on M&A. The last point is fully demonstrate sincerity. Ford is highly interested in what happens to Volvo after it is acquired. Ford did not want to accept speculators, but wanted to find long-term responsible buyers. And Geely showed its fully attention to Volvo during the intense and extensive negotiations. Sincerity played an important role in this negotiation. Now let's move to the next part.
Okay, the last part, I will talk about how Volvo seller Ford can better benefit. Ford sold Volvo at a very low price. After all, Ford paid more than $6 billion for the acquisition of Volvo in 1999 and only sold it for less than $2 million. So how could Ford benefit more from this negotiation? We thought of 2 points. Firstly, we think Ford to take faster move by optimizing management. When Geely attempted to acquire Volvo in 2008, Geely organized a project team including Ford law firm, Deloitte accounting firm, and Rothschild Bank. But at the same time, Ford was busy selling Land Rover and other car brands and had no time to take care of Volvo. So meanwhile, Volvo had been losing money, which means valuation would keep falling. Thus, we believe that if Ford should take faster move, for example, create a specialized team for selling Volvo, Ford should benefit more from this negotiation. Secondly, we think Ford could use brand value to make a better deal. By that time, Volvo was a multinational automobile company with a history of nearly 100 years, a brand value of nearly $10 million US. Though with the decreasing valuation, focusing on the beneficial factors such as the huge benefit Volvo to bring to Geely with the huge brand value. In this way, Ford could add more value and benefit more from this negotiation. And last, what's the strategic suggestions for the future negotiation? We think firstly for the buyers, they should plan in advance and seize the key character to push the negotiation smoothly and show sincerity. And for the seller, we think they should optimize the decision process for a faster move and emphasize advantages in exchange for the maximum benefit. That's all for our today's presentation. Thanks for listening.